Yeah, I think it was much needed at that point. Really, we were kind of banged up, and so got a chance to recharge a little bit, hold some guys out to get healthy, but got a lot of really good fundamental work done last week. Really good energy last night at practice, so excited going into the week here.
And there were quite a few injuries suffered in that USC game. Any updates you can share with us as to availability or status?
Yeah, obviously you want to know about Jake. Jake is going to be week to week with a high ankle issue. Dante Bull will miss this week, and Evan will be out this week as well. And and all those guys are really week to week, nothing really long term. But we just have to see how the recovery comes, and like I said, take it week by week, day by day.
So with Jake not being available this week, how do you expect the quarterback situation to unfold?
Yeah, well, Logan Fife will start, and it's been a really good competition, very close with him and Jalen Henderson, and so they'll both get reps this week. And Logan got a chance to play pretty much the second half at USC, so he got his feet wet a little bit there. But yeah, they'll take the reps this week.
You never know, but are you going into it thinking there's a chance they may both play, or is this Logan's to?
No, we don't have that on our mind right now. Logan's going to start the game and play, and we'll just have to see how the game goes, but we have all the confidence in the world with him.
Yeah, my last question, what did you see from him in that limited action in the Coliseum that you liked, and maybe that you see room for improvement?
Well, it wasn't too big for him, in that environment. Sometimes it can be too big and the game happening too fast, and I didn't think that was the case at all. He looked very comfortable in there and ran the offense well and managed the clock well and all that kind of thing that the quarterback has to do. He was composed. He had poise, and and that's going to be the thing, is he has to understand that no different than any quarterback in there, you have to let everybody do their job around you. You don't have to try to do too much, just do your job.
Coach, East Hartford is 3,000 plus miles from Fresno, California. How do you go about preparing for the longest road trip in program history?
Well, just like any other road trip, really. It's we're going to go on Thursday, to get acclimated to the time change. So we will leave Thursday afternoon about 1:30. And then once we get there, we have to try to acclimate to get ourselves on East Coast time, which we will do. We'll practice there on Friday, and then, be ready for go to bed at certain hours to make sure that we're acclimated to the time. But we have to make the trip. We have to have a plan when we get on the plane, whether it be study, whether get a little nap, whatever it may be. Look over the game plan, so on and so forth. Is what it is, and we'll get there and we'll have plenty of time to get acclimated, I think.
Coach, the injured guys who were not listed on the 2 deep, are they going to be traveling this week, or are they staying back?
No, they'll stay back. They'll stay back and get rehabilitation, get treatment while they're here. And as of right now, the plan is to leave him home.
With Logan, when you recruited him in, 2018, because he signed in 2019, what did you like coming out of high school, and what skill set does he have that may be similar to Jake or different from Jake?
Well, he's very competitive. He's got plenty of arm talent. He's athletic to where he can extend plays. He's a smart young man, and even back then I thought he threw the ball very, very well. And when we had him in camps here, and and obviously him being around Jake, those guys are very close. They prepare very well together, and so his preparation has always been like he's going to be the starter. So I've been always impressed with his preparation going into a game plan. So. He's a student of the game. He puts a lot of hours in, and so I think this would be a big week for him to kind of hone in on being that starter, and again, just manage his job, I think is really important.
So what would you like to see from him specifically in practice this week? Is he a more vocal quarterback? Does he take direction well from the coaches? What are you hoping to see from him this week?
Well, it's not like he just showed up this week. He's been here for a long time. You know, he's not a new kid. He's going to do the same thing he's been doing every week. You know, and I don't think his demeanor changed because he gets a lot of reps in practice anyway. You know, he's pretty poised. You know, it's not like he's a big yeller and screamer out there. He doesn't have to change his personality just because his role changes a little bit, right? So he'll be just fine with the way he's always been. He's always really focused. He's always really businesslike, and so I don't think that there'll be any change in that. There shouldn't be.
So he got unexpected playing time against USC, obviously for an unfortunate reason. Malik Sherrod got a lot of playing time too, and Mims is the starter, of course. But what do you like from Malik? What did you see on that touchdown run? And is he going to be a guy that has earned more playing time moving forward?
Yeah, Malik has done an excellent job this year, and he has really good vision. He's very quick, and in the open field, he's got great speed. So he's been very solid, very dependable, and so yeah, we feel really good about him being a great complement to Jordan in the backfield.
So looking ahead to the UConn game, obviously it's a far trip for you guys. It's also a different opponent than you've seen the last couple of weeks, and they've struggled. They've given up 30 or more points in each of their last 3 losses. What is this UConn team? What type of a game do you think you'll see on Saturday?
Well, let's not forget who UConn's played the last 3 weeks, right? They played Syracuse, who I think is in the top 30. They're like ranked 30. They played Michigan, and they played North Carolina State. You know, top 15 teams. So let's not forget that they've been on the road playing some really difficult opponents. You know, but they've really played hard. I'm really impressed. Coach Mora, you know, I've known from the Pac-12, and I know he's going to have his guys ready to play. And even though they may have been overmatched in some of those games, you know, in some of the situations, they really play hard. And they're really good up front on both sides of the ball, offensive line, defensive line. They do a great job. And they're an experienced crew. And you know, it's very impressive to watch them play as hard as they play on tape, and it doesn't matter if they get down; they're very competitive, and so I expect to get their best shot, no doubt about it, and we're going to have to play very, very well to have a chance to be successful.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach Mora. Obviously, he coached at UCLA, coached in the NFL for a number of years. When did you realize that he was the coach of this team? Because when UConn came here last year, he was not the coach.
I guess when he got hired. I don't remember what month that was that he got hired. But yeah, I'd seen it way back when that he was getting back into it because he was in TV for a while. But he's a football guy. It's been in his family. He's been an excellent coach his whole career. And his teams are always very well prepared. They always play tough, hard-nosed football. And this team's no different than he has now.
I asked you after the USC game what things you needed to clean up and work on from the bye week, or I guess from that game through the bye week until this week. What things have you guys worked on? Use the bye week to get a little bit healthier, but maybe some things to get better for here on out.
Yeah, really fundamentals, blocking, tackling, getting off blocks. We put a lot of energy and effort into tackling in the last week. In the open field especially, because we missed a lot of tackles at USC, and those guys are pretty slippery in the open field. There's no doubt about that. But we have to do a better job with our fundamentals as far as trying to get guys on the ground.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
I wanted to ask about Ray Scott. He's not listed on the 2 deep at the linebacker position. Is there a reason for that? Or?
Yeah, he's injured. He'll be out. He's in the same boat as the other guys. It'll be week to week with him.
And just to clarify on some injuries, so after the game you said Evan Williams had a knee injury, ligament issue, and Dante Bull had a groin issue. Is that still the case with those 2 guys?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Coach, you alluded to who UConn's just played. Is that speed of the game where they're not going to have there's times where Fresno State has gone to opponents and the word has been that it might take a quarter to get to the speed of some larger opponents or faster opponents? Are you expecting them to come out of the gates and match what you guys bring in that aspect?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think they play very fast. They play very fast, and they're very physical. They make you earn everything you get. And, it's the team, watching the games that they played, it's Syracuse is a very good football team, very physical, and Michigan, obviously. And, it's not like they're just running right through them. I mean, they battle hard. And obviously North Carolina State, they have a very good quarterback. North Carolina State, I think he was a preseason player of the year in their conference, and played very well. And so they've been up against some really tough opponents for sure, and it's been on the road as well. So them coming home, I'm sure is going to be a breath of fresh air to them to come home and play at home. I'm sure, in front of their fans. So it's going to be a tough environment, I'm sure.
What's been your impression of their quarterback? I believe he's been one of their higher-rated recruits that they've had there in a while.
Yeah, he's a freshman, but he's athletic. He can extend plays. He's accurate throwing the football. And each week that he plays, I don't know when their first guy went out, maybe week 1, right? So he's played for 3-4 weeks now. And so with every game, it seems like he gets more comfortable. And so I think after a while, you're not a freshman anymore after you've been playing. And so he's kind of on that trajectory, really, I think, is he looks more comfortable each and every week.
You've got Krishan Gordon listed as the starter and replacement of Evan. Could you share just what he's done over fall camp and how he's impressed you?
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. He's physical and he does a nice job. That's on the depth chart for today. By the time the end of the week happens, it's really kind of a competition right now to see what happens throughout the week. But he's done a really good job. He's physical. He can run. He's got good ball skills. Plays a lot on special teams, and so he's going to be in the mix as far as the competition is concerned. He's on there today, but we'll see how it shakes out throughout the week.
Gotcha. And you've got Braylon Nelson listed. Are you expecting him to be available this week?
We are, yes.
Jake and Evan are two of the permanent captains on this team, and they won't be traveling with the team. Do you kind of know yet who the captains will be at midfield come Saturday afternoon?
I usually wait till the end of the week to do that. But as we vote on captains, we know who got the most votes. So obviously those two guys got the most votes, and then after that it's kind of stratified as it goes down. So it will be the next guys from there that will take over. But I'll have to see how the week goes, and we'll take it from there. Probably announce that on Thursday at practice. Okay, thank you all.